Okay, so this one is saying a Wabansi Celtic monolith, uh, and he said that there was groups that came over like Phoenicians and Formorians, which Formorians are Irish cryptids. Like the word Formorian was mythology. It's Irish mythology for a bunch of cryptids, like a whole gang of cryptids, and then the Tuatha are like the werewolves, and like the Formorians fought the werewolves. Like I'm not saying that you have to believe that this take it literally, but in the mythology, and then this Wabansi stone turned out to be like had markings of ritualistic sacrifice and child sacrifice, something like that. Particularly child sacrifice, and a reference to the giants being buried. Giants in Ireland were Formorians, and they also had like a cyclops, and they had like a rake, one of those like tall, slender creatures. They had a rake. They had like all these kind of like creatures in the group called the Formorians, which might have been like a reference to some culture who like kind of like venerates them, these as monsters, and puts them out there as monsters. But it's just interesting. Hold on a second. Let me let him talk for a second.
Of the Wabansi Celtic monolith. This is a little image right here. I just want to add, remember, America's a true world. A lot of the times we may be seeing this in reverse, but also, yeah, if they
Trying
came
to feed the
over
dog
here,
man
it would just be
mythology.
returning, right? Who are the ancient Irish, the ancient Celtic people? What are their stories? Supposedly coming out of so-called Egypt, right?
Well, hold
Phoenician,
on, wait.
for more.
Before Irish people settled in Ireland, they were from Afghanistan and Spain, and then the Afghanistan. So like, they came from like Afghanistan and Spain. Phoenicians have been to South America. There's like depictions of Phoenician beard and clothing and boots and holding flag and stuff that they didn't do. And in that video, the guy was saying what disqualified some suspicions of like people coming over with somebody in Europe, they didn't have potatoes and corn. So like, but until a certain time, like the potato famine in Ireland, they didn't even have potatoes. They would have known about potato, right? So I mean, this is disputable. I mean, but this object is actually older than a lot of Native American cultures that didn't make this in particular. And then it's just strange how you can connect it to like descriptions of like giants, Nephilim, and then even in elementals being like, before there was ever aliens, there were elementals, and elementals were like gnomes. Gnomes are like kind of evil, right? And they weren't always cute and adorable like we believe today, you know. They're like little monsters, basically. Saying you should believe in there's like monsters or something, but it's just, I mean, why not? Like, it seems like there's other dimensions where these things exist, like in a way, like a hellhound, and they cross over to, you know, like put fear and like pursue somebody until They fulfill like the part of the contract that you don't want to fulfill. You know, you get the good shit that you want, and then there's the negative side that eventually you have to face it. That's the hellhounds, right? What? How do they get from their dimension to our dimension? You know, I'm not saying this is scientific or anything. Like, I'm just saying it's like explains our developing lore and with having to do with lichen and werewolf and elementals and even vampire, because everywhere's vampire is going to be different. Like, we don't understand vampires from other cultures. It could be like there's one that's a hookworm, there's one that's a vulture with like a face, like a sucker face on it, like a carp with like teeth and it's like little sucker face.